gentlemen, we have an older Ameritron Als-500M. $50 amp Anderson plug. Come on. We all know better. We know better. We know better. Okay, let's read our note. I have an Als-500M that has no RF out. The amplifier power is on fine with no fault lights. The relay clicks when transmitting, but no RF is detected on my power meter. When the unit is powered off, RF passes from the rig, and I can read it on my power meter. This is an older unit without the remote. It's got Toshiba transistors. It is super clean inside, and I cannot see anything that looks burnt, abnormal inside the box. When the unit is in for repair, I'd like to have the power wires done and the power wires mod. Let me know if you need any further info. Blah, 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 blah. This guy is a Patreon that owns this amp. And every single time I've done an ALS video, he's been the first one to like, I can't wait to get my amplifier done. It's there. It's been there for over a year and a half. Blah. It's here. We're going to do it. So our first step is I want to open it up. Let's take a look on the inside. Then we're going to actually power it on, and we're going to see what transistors are working and what don't. The transistors that are in here, new ones are $250 a piece. Used ones are about $150 a whack. I've called and I've talked with him on the phone. He wants to stay with the Toshiba transistors. He has zero faith, he says, in the HG components, which I kind of share his opinion a little bit. They work. They're the best that we've got. As far as what's currently being produced, we still have access to the Toshibas, but not very many. That number is starting to dwindle. At the end of the day, you know, on the outside of things, you might be talking $600 worth of parts. Might be less, might be more. We'll find out together. You and me right here now. I want to take a minute and I want to thank the Patreon supporters. The Patreon supporters take up the gap that YouTube used to be able to provide for. YouTube does not pay for anything. I get something in the order of 76,000 to 100,000 views a day, and still at the end of the day, YouTube does not even pay me enough to support charging the batteries on the camera, literally. So I work on the one-to-one system. I create the content. I turn it over to you guys and just humbly say, if you want to come support the channel, you can. Just come to Patreon, create an account, and come find BBI Amps and choose your level of support. The Patreon guys are the reason that I'm able to go do all the traveling videos where I go and I interview people. They're the ones that directly support that and my Homeboy 12. They get direct access to everything that I'm working on, and if anything comes up for sale, they have access to that 24 hours or 48 hours before it comes out to the public. They usually gobble it up. I got a 16 pill and a couple 4 pills and an 8 pill and a couple other things that are all getting ready to come up for sale here in this next week. It'll be on Patreon first, and then they'll come to the public last. So they also get exclusive behind the scene content, and they also know what I'm working on and doing every single day. Those are the advantages of being a Patreon supporter. But back on task. One thing else I want to mention, Penta Labs. If you are in the market to buy a set of 3500Zs, a 3CX 1500A7, 8877 tube, even the 3CX 3000s, 3CX 15 and the 3CX 20s, all of those. Penta provides all of those with a warranty, high-pot tested in-house. If you choose to go to Penta, which in my opinion would be our best bet in today's market, seeing how things are moving around out there in the RF world, use the promo code BBI and you will get 5% off any of your purchase and the shipping. So on that note, let's crack this baby open and let's see what's going on the inside. So the time comes about twice a day in my world, but in every amp builder's world, where the customer is just focused on the fact that the amp is not doing what they think it should do, or their meter isn't right, or whatever. And it allows the amp guy, amp personage, however you want to put it, the opportunity. He could say, oh, hey, no, yeah, I'm sorry I opened your amp up, and come to find out it's all blown up and it doesn't work the way it's supposed to. So here's all these really expensive parts, and I'm going to make a killing on you, right? I can't afford that in my world. I've got to be honest all the time, right? I at least try anyhow. So we're on 160 meters. Okay. Turn the amp off. This is a 100 watt element in forward position. We've currently got the ICOM 7300 to bench radio hooked up. Hello, 1, 2. So we're going to put about 90 watts in this thing. Step on the pedal. Hello. Ooh. Did we go into fault mode? There we go. We tripped a fault meter on the front. Hello, 1, 2. 600 watts. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's go look at the spectrum analyzer. Are you going to focus on the spectrum? There we go. Hello, 1, 2. You see it? It's there. It's just all the way over here. Because I'm not allowed to move my spectrum analyzer where I can't have 500 megahertz watt. I swear to God, you guys, you haters in YouTube land, I swear. Let's jump up. We'll change frequencies now. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You can almost see it. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2. Remember, guys, this is 1,000 watts in peak and 1,000 in the bird average or whatever, and we are on sideband. But you can see the disparity, but the peak number's dead on the money. So we'll come up here. Hello, 1, 2. It's perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect. This thing is working perfectly. So I think to myself, well, maybe, maybe he's using it on some band that isn't working properly. So we'll jump up again. So now we'll go up to 7 megahertz. Radio, hello, 1, 2. Hello, 1, 2, 500 watts, no problem. Hello, hello, hello. Spectrum analyzer, hello, hello, hello. It's really important I show the spectrum analyzer, I think. Hello, 1, 2. It's squeaky clean, you guys. So then we'll jump on up here again. We'll jump on over here to 20 meters or whatever. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We'll go over here to the spectrum analyzer. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Come look at the radio. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 14 meters falls in between those two different bands on this thing. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Same, same. Okay, so now we're going to go all the way over to 28 megahertz. Radio, hello, 1, 1, 1, 1. Amplifier, hello, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Let's go down here and look at the watt meter real quick. Hello, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Hello, 1, 1, 500 watts. And then over here. Hello, 1, 1. So, the moral of the story is dice. There's nothing wrong with this. So, owner of said hair amplifier, I called him on the phone. I said, hey, buddy. He's like, yeah, how bad? How much? Because I told him, I said, you know, if you want to stick with the Toshibas, it's going to be this amount of dollars. And if you want to do this, it's going to be that amount of dollars. And, you know. I am hesitant to say those numbers on video because what will happen is 6 years from now or 5 years from now, I'll end up doing another repair on one of these and somebody out there will have seen this video and they'll say to me, but back in 2004, you did a repair video for this guy and you said it was X amount of dollars, and you don't believe that happens? It happens all the stinking time in my world. I've got 14 years or 13 years worth of videos out there. I had a guy just 3 days ago say, well, you said on video that was only going to cost a couple $100. Why are you charging me $400 today? And I'm like, man, how old's that video, bro? I don't know. I saw it on YouTube. Things change, especially in a market and an environment where we have what, 35% inflation currently, and it's going up currently. I mean, Jesus, look at the price of groceries. What you could buy at the grocery store for $100 4 years ago is now $400. That's 400% inflation on the grocery store. Like wire's gone up like 60% in the last year alone. I'm just saying. Needless to say, there's nothing wrong here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do the power wire mods for this guy, and we're going to get it on the way back to him. This 50 amp Anderson clip causes more problems than Jesus, God, Satan only knows, right? This is way too small of a connector. In comparison, this is like a badass connector compared to this. So you need to have a 100 amp plus connector attached to this, and you need to hook this into a 100 amp supply, right? We're going to pull this out of line, take this off because we're not going to use this anymore. And when we come back, we're going to have this fixed up. We'll pull in another couple extra pins in here. We'll run a couple extra grounds over here to the board. We'll put some ferrite, some heat shrink and stuff on here, and then we'll upgrade this plug with a different Anderson clip on it. So on that note, we shall return. Okay, so we did the big three. Big three is upgrade to power wires inside the amp, and it's on the ground side that we do the upgrades the most. We utilize one more extra plug out of the Anderson, or not Anderson, but the Jones plug. We run a couple grounds over to the board. Helps carry more current, that way it doesn't have to flow through the case and then up to the board, because believe me, this case can carry way more current than those little wires can. It's just to help supplement it. And then we do the same thing on the positive side. We tie this third pin down here, and then we solder these on, and we put some ferrite chokes on, and then that's one. Then the two is the plug. We upgrade this plug. We take the plug all apart. We tie all three of the legs together. We put almost 3 times the size wire going. This is stock wire, almost 3 times size wire going to the plug. And then on top of that, the third thing is we give them an actual real plug. So because this thing can spike up to 100 amps, this is an RMS reading meter, right? So peak reading meter would show a lot more amperage. That's the reason this 50 amp plug, there's not a lot of surface area in there to carry 100, you know. So we did the big three. Radio, hello, 1, 2. Oh, shit. Here we go. Let's see if we've got any improvement. Hello, 1, 2. Same amount of drive from the radio. Let's turn the amplifier on. Tripped it. Hello. Big improvement. Went from 550, 600 watts to hello, 700. Now I want everybody that watches this video to think about it. We picked up 100 more watts of output power without changing a single thing inside the amp. We're not changing our voltage. We're not changing anything other than getting rid of the current restriction. This bullshit wire that they have. This wire is not the greatest in the world. It's just not. It can't be. This wire's the wrong size. So then imagine running from your car in your vehicle from the battery all the way down to the amplifier with too small a wire. It makes it drink a lot more current. I didn't change any of the settings in this thing. None of the current overdraw settings, none of that. We didn't change the drive, none of that. All we did was add bigger wire. At almost 700 watts. So here we'll jump up. Now we're getting 600 out on that. We were getting 5. So we're going up again. 7 megahertz. Once again, 650, and we were getting 5 before. Or 550 or 560, and we were getting 500 before. It allows us to pick up 100 more watts, but it allows the amplifier to run cooler. By keeping our amperage up, because the amperage is constant throughout the circuit, right? So the driving motivation force is the voltage. The voltage starts to drop. And when the voltage starts to drop, the amperage has to pick up. So now the amperage increases, right? By us being able to keep the amperage up, keep the voltage up, we're not relying on the amp draw quite so much. I tell you, it sucks. Ever since I chopped the tip of my finger off, which I did on video, by the way. The logo for it is parental advisory. I can tap that screen on that ICOM 7300 all day long. It doesn't do nothing. All right, so we're back down to 160 megahertz. About 52 amps over here, right? So we know we're pulling well in excess of 100 amps peak. Bottom line. This thing works great. I'm glad I didn't have to do any hard technical repairs on it. I don't think the next Als-500, I did not realize I had this many of them in the shop. The next video you guys watch, basically going to be a Memorex of this one, a repeat of this one. But that one, I have a feeling there's drastically real big problems with it. This one here, the owner just doesn't own a watt meter. And so I told him, I said, you know, LP100s are cheap. Toshiba transistors are expensive. Okay, I'm off my high horse. Gentlemen, have a good one. I'm out. I'm going to go do other things with my night, like work on yet another Ameritron amplifier, which I'm okay with that. I'll fix these damn things all day long. I don't care. It's your money. It's just the money, right? Super shout out to the guys on Patreon. Super shout out to the guys at Penna. Big shout out to the guys at XS, Siglant, McMahon, Bird, Coaxial Dynamics. Give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Just say something. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you got any questions, comments, or anything else I can do to help you out, don't hesitate to give me a call. It rings directly to this phone here. Gentlemen, I am the biggest mud duck in Idaho, and I'll see you. Click, click.